The office hummed with the usual Monday morning buzz, phones ringing, keyboards clacking, and voices quietly murmuring across Horizon Tech Solutions' open floor plan. Everyone was busy, except for Jeff Taylor, the self-proclaimed best manager in the building. Jeff sat comfortably in his corner office, feet propped up on his desk, scrolling through his phone while sipping on a pricey latte. He prided himself on his ability to delegate tasks to his team, which often meant offloading his responsibilities onto others. Today was no different. Jeff had scheduled an 11 a.m. meeting to onboard the newest hire, a young woman named Emily Harper. He hadn't bothered to review her resume or learn much about her. In his mind, she was just another entry-level employee who would follow orders and stay out of his way. Probably just another fresh college grad who thinks she knows everything, he muttered. When Emily arrived, she looked professional in a crisp blazer and slacks, her confident demeanor immediately noticeable. She carried herself with quiet authority, but Jeff barely looked up as she entered. "Emily Harper, right?" he said, flipping through a folder without actually reading it. "Take a seat. Let's make this quick. I've got more important things to do." Emily smiled politely and sat down, observing the chaotic state of Jeff's desk, papers scattered everywhere, and an empty coffee cup precariously balanced on a pile of reports. "Thank you for having me," she said. "I'm excited to contribute to the team." Jeff smirked. Yeah. Look, your job here is simple. Stay out of my way, don't ask too many questions, and do what you're told." "Got it." Emily raised an eyebrow. "I'll certainly do my best to support the team and bring value to the company." Her diplomatic response seemed to irritate Jeff. He leaned back in his chair, tapping his pen against the desk. "Support the team?" "Sure. Just remember, I'm the one in charge here." "Got it." Emily nodded, maintaining her composure despite his condescending tone. In the following days, Emily quickly proved herself to be a hard worker. She tackled every task with precision and even took the initiative to streamline a few inefficient processes. Her efforts didn't go unnoticed by her colleagues, who were impressed by her work ethic and innovative ideas. But Jeff wasn't happy. He saw Emily's competence as a threat to his authority. One afternoon, he overheard her discussing a potential improvement to the company's client management system with a coworker. Instead of appreciating her ingenuity, Jeff stormed over. "Emily, can I see you in my office now?" he said, his voice tight with annoyance. Emily followed him, sensing his frustration. Once inside his office, Jeff shut the door and crossed his arms. "Listen, I don't know what kind of operation you think we're running here, but you're overstepping," he snapped. "You're here to follow instructions, not reinvent the wheel." Emily stayed calm. "I apologize if I overstepped, Jeff. I was just trying to identify areas where we could improve efficiency." Jeff waved her off. "Save it. Just stick to your assignments and leave the big picture thinking to me." A week later, the tension between Jeff and Emily reached a breaking point. The team was preparing for a presentation to a major client, and Emily had been asked to compile a report. She worked tirelessly to ensure every detail was perfect, even staying late to double-check her data. On the day of the presentation, Jeff skimmed through the report moments before the meeting. "This is useless," he declared, tossing it onto his desk. "You completely missed the mark. I'll have to redo the whole thing myself." Emily frowned. "Can you clarify what's missing?" "I followed the outline you provided." "Don't argue with me," Jeff snapped. "I've been doing this for years. I know what the client wants." Emily clenched her jaw, but said nothing. She knew the report was solid, but Jeff's ego wouldn't allow him to admit it. After the meeting, which went poorly due to Jeff's last-minute changes, he called Emily into his office again. "Emily, this isn't working out," he said bluntly. "You're not a good fit for this team. Consider this your last day." Emily's eyes widened, but she quickly regained her composure. "May I ask what specifically led to this decision?" "You're not following instructions," Jeff said. "You're trying to do things your own way instead of listening to me. That's not how we operate here." Emily nodded slowly. "Thank you for the feedback, Jeff. I'll gather my things." Later that afternoon, as Emily packed up her desk, whispers spread across the office. Jeff noticed several employees glancing at him and quickly looking away. He dismissed it as typical office gossip, But the atmosphere felt different, tense, almost electric. At 4 p.m., the CEO, Mark Sullivan, arrived unexpectedly. He walked straight to Jeff's office, his expression unreadable. "Jeff, we need to talk," Mark said firmly. Jeff stood up, trying to appear confident. "Of course, Mark. What's going on?" Mark gestured for him to sit. "I've been hearing some concerning reports about your management style." Jeff blinked. "Concerning? I'm just doing my job." Mark folded his arms. "Let me rephrase that. Why did you fire Emily Harper?" Jeff hesitated. "She wasn't a good fit. She's too independent. Doesn't follow directions." Mark's expression hardened. "Did it ever occur to you to check her background? Do you know who Emily Harper is?" Jeff frowned. "She's some new hire." Mark leaned forward. "Emily Harper is the daughter of our company's largest investor. She's been working here undercover to evaluate the effectiveness of our management team." Jeff's face went pale. I didn't know." "Clearly," Mark said sharply. "And based on her evaluation, your management style leaves much to be desired. Effective immediately. You're relieved of your duties." Jeff stammered. "Mark, wait, I can explain." "Save it," Mark interrupted. "Security will escort you out." As Jeff was led out of the building, Emily watched from her desk, her expression calm but resolute. Mark approached her with a smile. "Emily, I'd like to formally apologize for what you've endured. I'm impressed by your professionalism and resilience." "Thank you, Mark," Emily replied. "I appreciate the opportunity to have been here and to help identify areas for improvement." Mark nodded. "I hope you'll consider staying on in a more senior role. Your insights are invaluable." Emily smiled. "I'd be honored." And with that, Emily took her rightful place, not just as an employee, but as a leader who would help steer Horizon Tech Solutions toward a brighter future.